Hi. We interviewed Stuart and Imogene Dunn on October 16, 2009. Stuart is 93 and Imogene is 88. They live together independently in Hartwell County.
Imogene was born in Hartwell County. Stuart was born in Anderson, South Carolina, and moved with his family to Hartwell when he was 10 years old. His father bought a farm in Hartwell. Both Imogene and Stuart have a very long American history. Imogene's family even goes back to 1775. Stuart remembers his parents as hard-working farmers. Imogene says that her parents were good, loving Christian parents who were also hard-working. She has many early memories of farm life, including bringing jars of well water to her dad while he plowed the fields. She remembered helping to grind corn in the corn mill. She also remembers crossing the river on a ferry in South Carolina with her parents and sister Sarah and grandmother. She was very afraid.
Imogene shared that Hartwell community was a thoughtful, caring community, like a family, helping everyone out when they were in need. When Imogene was a girl, a family up the road needed help. Imogene and her family helped pick the cotton and plow the fields so the family would have something to live on in the fall. Another instance of community was when a barefoot boy showed up at Imogene's door. When Imogene's father noted what a hard-working boy the young boy was, he bought shoes for the boy so that the boy would be able to work without hurting his feet. Stuart also lives in a farming community where people helped each other out, both in Anderson and in Hartwell County. Imogene had two sisters growing up. Mary Claire was older and Sarah was younger. The three girls helped their mom with housework. They also worked on the farm, hoeing, picking cotton, and canning vegetables. Stuart was the oldest of 7 children. There was 1 sister and 5 brothers, all close in age. Stuart joked about how he was just like any other oldest sibling, mean as can be, but in reality, he enjoyed having many siblings close to his own age so that he could have fun while doing a lot of work.
Imogene and Stuart both went to school in Hartwell County. Stuart went to school through 4th grade and then left school to go work on the farm with his family. Imogene graduated 9th grade and left school to get married.
Stuart and Imogene wed in 1939, when Stuart was 22 and Imogene was 17. For the first 10 years of marriage, Stuart and Imogene lived on Stuart's parents' farm in a separate house. They moved to their current house in 1949 and have lived there ever since. They are the only people from their community who have been married for 70 years and are still living together.
Imogene stayed at home with her children until they started school. She worked for 25 years at a sewing plant and then left her job when her child Beth had her own child. She watched the grandchild while the daughter worked. Since Stuart's illness, she has become a caretaker. Stuart worked on Imogene's father's farm when they first got married. He has also worked as a school bus driver for 13 years. He spent most of his life working on a farm in one way or another.
The Dunns had 2 children, Gary Ellison and Mary Beth. Both were named after Imogene's father and sister. Gary doesn't like his name, so they leave the Ellison part out. Gary owns his own machine shop, and Mary Beth works for Northeast Georgia Bank. They also have 4 grandchildren, whom Imogene and Stuart helped raise and still enjoy visiting today.
Imogene has several hobbies. Some of her favorites are gardening and taking care of the yard flowers. Stuart likes to go fishing and swimming in the river.
Imogene and Stuart both remember World War II, specifically Pearl Harbor. Imogene remembers visiting her uncle from Augusta When her nephew went out to listen to the radio and heard the news, he quickly spread it to the rest of the family. Everyone was in shock. This is also the most historic memory for Stuart. But Stuart commented that a lot of history has happened during his lifetime. A personal historic event for Stuart was when his brother was a veteran and wound up losing his legs. This event impacted Stuart's life a lot, reinforcing Stuart's happy decision to choose farm life as a career.
Imogene said that when she was growing up, life was farming. It was hard to find jobs, and it was not the way that the world is now. Now there's way more of a focus on school and education, and she fears that the concept of hard work is sometimes lost. She tries to reinforce these concepts into her grandchildren, even though they are raised in a different world than she was.
The greatest loss for Imogene was losing her sister Mary Claire to pneumonia, when Mary Claire was only 16 and Imogene was 13. Another great loss was when her dad died of a heart attack at age 52. Imogene notes that he came in from plowing one day and passed away in the night. The greatest loss for Stuart was the death of his 3 brothers and his parents. Imogene notes that family is very important to both sides of the family, and all losses of the family have been very hard on the couple.
Imogene says that retirement life has been good to them in general. It has been hard since Stuart got sick. Her children and their home care service helped them out a lot. Stuart developed Alzheimer's a few years ago, and Imogene has been his caretaker. Until about a year ago, she was very active in the church several days a week and even taught Sunday school. But caretaking duties now keep her very busy.
Imogene is most proud that she and her husband are still able to live together independently after 70 years of marriage. Stuart is most proud of his wife, Imogene, and that he's still around after 93 years of living.
Some of the advice that they gave was to value hard work, to be honest and truthful, and to stay away from drugs and alcohol. Also, they say to get a good education because it's important in the world today. Stuart says that you know when you're doing something wrong, so leave it alone because life catches up with you.
Stuart thinks Imogene is the grandest thing in the world. He claims she's got good love in her. They believe their marriage is special. They overlook each other's faults and love anyway. Imogene notes that the key is to forgive and to forget and to move on. And that's how you love.
Looking back at their lives, Imogene says that she's had a happy life, both in childhood and adulthood. She had good parents, a good continued relationship with her sister Sarah, and a wonderful husband. Stuart enjoys thinking about all that he's made it through and all the hard work that he's put in. They are very content with where they are in life. They want to continue to help others and each other.
There are a lot of things that we found interesting in the story of the Dunns. The first thing that we found special is their commitment to each other. When they said their vows 70 years ago, they probably weren't thinking about all of the things that they were going to go through, but they really were committed. I don't think that there's much more that you could say about a committed marriage than just a picture of what they have. Yeah, when they said, till death do us part, and in sickness and in health, they really meant it.
And I think that a lot of the commitment of their marriage just spills over to the enormity of the caregiving. I think that Imogene is just the model caregiver, and I think that Stuart really appreciates that. I think that he sees everything that she's doing for him.
Yeah, it really seems like she's dedicated everything that she has to him and their marriage and their lives together.
They're a very impressive couple, and they have a really special story. I think we're both really glad that we got to interview them.
Yeah, we were not really anticipating to hear such a impressive story, but we were.